Well, speaking of Ace,
Okay.
apparently, I'm trying to find the little clip here.
Yeah.
Where is it? This one here.
Okay.
Only legendary guitarist Ace Frehley. Ace. I met up with Ace Frehley. Ace gave me a computer lesson. Ace, of course.
AceFrehley.com.
Ace.
That is out of complete control.
Ace.
Amazing. My favorite word. Just saw Ace. Ace Frehley. What's up, Ace? Ace. Bleep that out. I know a place where we can emerge out of a spacecraft.
All right. Can we talk about that email that you received?
Yeah. Sure.
Let's talk about that email.
Okay. Want me to read it? I have it in front of me.
All right. Well, strangely enough,
Yeah.
very oddly enough, somebody totally unlikely reached out to you via the Facebook.
No.
Through your ChrisAikenBooks.com.
SakenBooks.com. He went to my book site.
Okay. And shockingly enough,
Yes.
when you received this, and I want to know what your initial reaction was it like, holy shit, or what the fuck is this, or is this a joke, or what was your initial reaction when you opened up an email and realized that it was Mark Striggle of Talking Metal sending you a personal email?
Did not believe it was real.
Okay.
Initial thought was one of the fans fucking with me.
Right.
And that was really it. As I was like, get the fuck out of here. Come on.
So, what was it, about a month ago?
It was September 9th.
Okay. Almost a month ago.
Yeah.
Mark Striggle, one of our favorite whipping boys,
Right.
actually reached out to you and sent you a fairly lengthy email,
He did.
which was, I couldn't even imagine what that would have been like for you to just open this email and go, who is this from?
Yeah. No, I was like, what?
So
All the people I would expect, this was the last thing I ever expected to get.
right. So are you going to read it?
Yeah, I'll read it.
Go ahead.
Here's what it says. It says, Chris, listen to 3 CMS podcasts this week for the first time in a long time, not including interview ones that are linked through Blabbermouth. Who is Red? That's his question. And as you probably remember, that's how he came up last time, was
Right.
that we mentioned that Red had said that he was going to be on Talking Metal.
Yeah, you brought it up about 4 or 5 weeks ago. You said that Talking Metal reached out to Red and said he was going to be a guest on Talking Metal.
Right. So his question is, who is Red? I have no idea who or what you are talking about. I don't know who Red is, and I am not planning to have him on the show. Now comes the good stuff. You ready for this?
All right.
I was laughing so hard at the Ace, Ace, Ace song with the samples that I was crying.
The one and the only legendary guitarist Ace Frehley. Ace. I met up with Ace Frehley. Ace gave me a computer lesson. Ace, of course.
AceFrehley.com.
Ace.
That is out of complete control.
Ace.
Amazing. My favorite word. Just saw Ace. Ace Frehley. What's up, Ace? Ace. Bleep that out. I know a place where we can emerge out of a spacecraft.
Okay.
You must have spent hours, days on that one. Fucking hilarious, honestly.
All right. Well, we have to give full credit to Wheezy, our unpaid producer.
That's right. Wheezy, Mark Striggle appreciates your work.
Mark Striggle thinks you're fucking hilarious, as do we.
Honestly. That's his words, not mine.
Right.
Astronomy loves Obama. More of the lies and misinformation about us you have built your platform on.
All right. Well, that came out of my mouth.
Okay.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that I made some comment that we were discussing Obama, and being that Mark and John are so enamored with New York City,
Yeah.
I just more or less made the liberal
Assumption.
that they would be Obama supporters.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a lie. It was my observation or my thoughts on that,
It's your
regardless.
misinformation about them, man.
Yeah, we built our platform on it.
Right, man. You are one hateful dude, but I admit you have something about you that is entertaining. Well, thank you, Mark.
Well, how about that? You're entertaining, Chris.
Thank you. You do a good job with the interviews, which, as I mentioned, I sometimes listen to through Blabbermouth. I honestly don't dislike you. Well, that's all very positive, right?
Yeah, very upbeat.
I find your partner more annoying and pathetic.
That's me. Annoying and pathetic.
And pathetic. You say we're clueless? Wow. Have you ever listened to the guy you are doing a show with?
Okay. I've never understood. I don't quite understand that comment.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm clueless too much about anything, to be honest with you. But hey, that's just my thoughts. Maybe I do come off as clueless.
I think you're fairly clueless, annoying, and pathetic.
Right. All right.
You hit below the belt. I get it. I can take it. After almost 10 years, I don't expect it to stop.
That's funny that he already knows it's a 10-year deal.
It would be cool if you left my family out of your attacks, as they have nothing to do with talking metal.
Right. So, Emily, Chris apologizes not.
No, Chris does not apologize,
That's
even a little bit.
Right.
I don't apologize for one reason and one reason only.
Because he brings them up during the podcast.
Once you bring it into the podcast, it becomes part of talking metal.
Right.
Sorry, that's the way it works.
Sure.
When you mention anybody, you mention you have a kid, now your kid is fair game.
Right.
You mention you have a dog, your dog is fair game. If you want to call that dog Emily, that's fine, but that's not my problem.
Didn't he say he had a dog named Ozzy?
Yeah, he has Ozzy.
Right.
Yeah. See, we know that because you brought it up.
Sure.
We've never once spoken to you on the phone. Never. So we don't know your dog's name, and we don't know your wife's name, and we don't know your dad works. Now, that one we actually discovered on our own.
Right. I found that out on Fox News.
Yeah, we found that out because your dad's a public figure. So
Right.
he's fair game as well.
Sure.
So your wife that you brought up, that becomes fair game. You know, saying leave them out of it? No. How about that? No. You know what? My family didn't get to eat because I wasn't on fucking CBS radio. Oh, but I guess that's different. I guess that's different because I stopped getting paid by CBS when you cried to HR, when I responded to your email that said, tell us what you think. Fuck you. Think of that. Anyway, it continues. Congrats on your Spreaker numbers. They're impressive.
Yeah, it's because people listen to us, Mark.
Well, that's
Even though I am clueless and pathetic and annoying, people still listen.
because they listen to me because I'm entertaining.
Right. You're
Hateful.
you're the talented one among
Sorry,
them.
I'm the talent. I'm the hateful dude, but I'm entertaining. And that clearly translates to 500,000 fucking people on Spreaker.
Sure.
Much love from your favorite obsession, Mark from Talking Metal.
Wow.
So there it is.
So that was from Mark. That was from strigglemark@gmail.com.
Yeah, it was.
strigglemark@gmail.com.
I'll give him some credit. That took some balls.
That did take some balls. I was shocked when you told me that.
I give him much credit for that one.
Should I play some Ace Shock Me?
Sure.
Shock me!
Make me feel better.
Right. So that was interesting in the least, and to be honest with you, just for saying that I'm annoying, clueless, and pathetic doesn't bother me a bit.
Not even a little?
Not even a little.
I think it should bother you greatly. Because talking metal feels that you're annoying.
Well, I just consider the source. How's that?
I'm looking for my response, and I can't.
Oh, I got that.
You got it?
Oh, yeah.
You want to read that? Or you want me to
Sure,
read it?
I'll read it. So anyway, Chris decided he wanted to reach out to the Talking Metal guys because, he did have a little respect for Mark for reaching out and sending that email.
I did.
So since we don't really cover Talking Metal that much anymore, I think since Chris has been back, maybe we've done it 3 times.
Yeah, in 2 years.
Over
2 years.
Over 2 years now.
Yeah.
It's not really a whipping boy anymore.
No, it's a dead platform.
Sure. And, it's a deceptional informational platform.
Well, not only that, but I mean, there is that, of course. But I think the reality is that we've had enough turnover where it's not. I don't think that there's as many hardcores that even remember that whole thing.
Yeah, once in a while we get somebody throws us a email or a tweet or something that says, "Oh, dude, you got to go check this out," and we have, and it's since they brought that Victor Ruiz guy in, not so much.
Oh, what do you know? You're just annoying, dude.
I am annoying and pathetic and clueless.
And clueless.
Right.
You don't know. Victor's talented.
You're right. So anyway, Chris called me and we discussed this, and he said, "You know what? Let's bury the hatchet with these guys."
I actually did. The new, nicer Chris, not as hateful, not as fucking willing to hold on to everything forever. I thought, why not settle this problem?
Well, the way that we looked at Mark's Striggle email that he conceded, and it was kind of like throwing up the white flag almost.
And we were like, okay, well, nobody has to, and honestly, nobody has to win, nobody has to lose. We just have to, you want to end something? You asked for it, we'll end it. Why not?
Sure. So you learned a little bit from the Rev.
Yes.
And threw a challenge out to him.
I threw my challenge, my whole challenge.
Right. So you wrote him back and you said, "Hey, Mark, well, this was an email I didn't see coming. I'll start with the good. Thanks for the compliments on the numbers and the interviews and whatever it is about me that's entertaining. I take all comments as positive, including negative ones. People don't like me, but take the time to comment. That's cool. I impacted them. That's a win." Look at you all, Mr. Positive and shit.
I am Mr. Positive.
We have a good guy named Wheezy. That's our unpaid producer that religiously does stuff like the Ace thing. I have no idea how he does it, but he has churned out hundreds of these kinds of bits. I agree with you, though. It's damn funny.
That's right.
I have no idea how long he's spent on it. Well, after having some discussions with Wheezy, I know that he's got things cataloged so well that he can pull these things out and probably knock one out like in a half an hour.
Right.
That's how good he is.
Mm-hmm.
Red, host of Rock and Metal Revival, check with John, as I know those two talk. Maybe he's the one that worked it out. I only reported what I'm told. Now, did you approach Red about this?
I did.
And what did he say?
He said that he was asked by John.
Okay, so Mark knew nothing about it. John is the one who asked him to do this, or potentially asked him. Now, as far as you know, do you know if that ever happened?
I have no clue.
Because this, like I said, this is like 5 weeks ago.
I have not asked Red further.
Okay. Am I a hateful dude? A lot less than in the past. The radio show is definitely my place to explode and let the demons loose. I'm 100% in the moment on the show, and whatever I come up with is what I come up with. Good, bad, angry, sad. It's real and in the moment. Dislike each other? And now here's where you really lay the smack down.
Okay.
You really let him know where the hate and discontent might come from, if there is any.
Well, maybe I did. I'm not sure you can understand it as what you are.
All right. Disliking each other? Well, there's a couple of ways to look at it. I don't know you or John personally, so I can't say that I have a personal dislike. Your actions, though, I can definitely say have been cowardly, and that has definitely kept a lot of things going with me. Crying to CBS HR about a nasty email and getting me fired from my commercial gig? Yep, that hasn't died off fast. Filing trademark infringement complaints with iTunes? I still remember that fairly clearly. The difference between the two shows are many, but one point that's abundantly clear is that we have never tried to jeopardize your show. We never filed complaints for using more than 30 seconds of commercial audio in iTunes podcasts. We always gave out the web link to your site. We always addressed your fans coming at us, be it on the phones, emails, iTunes comments, whatever. Much like you guys have friends in the bands, we do too, and haven't had a couple of guys ask us about doing your show, which we've always said, go ahead and do without repercussions from us or our show. But regardless, if there's a question about the never-ending need to keep you guys in my crosshairs, you've earned your spot. I'm not one that just moves on.
Is that wrong?
No. You stated it very clearly that they're fucking pussies.
No, I said it point blank. I said, yeah, you want to know why I'm still angry?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, you're a coward.
Yeah, I'm not one that just takes things and you know this about me. It's one of the most endearing things I have about me, but it's also one of the most retarded things I have about me. I don't let things go.
Sure.
And you know that. When I'm mad about something, I didn't talk to my parents a word for 12 fucking years.
Right.
12 years, not one word. Half of that they lived literally in the next house.
Right.
So, yeah, I do hold on to shit.
Sure.
And, not that I cared at that moment. I was so sick of fucking commercial radio anyway when I got fired from it. But you know what? What if it wasn't like that? What if the money was the difference between me making my rent or not?
Right.
You're going to fucking run to HR because I sent a nasty email?
They said something mean to me.
That you asked for.
Right.
Said, if I remember right, and I mean, this is a long time ago now, but we were responding on air to, they said, send us an email to this address with your thoughts.
Right.
About the show.
Yeah, good, bad, or indifferent.
And I said, okay. And I did. And it was kind of a bit because we were doing it live on the show.
Yeah, you typed it while we were talking.
Yeah. But regardless, it was asked for. So if they asked for it and then they get it and then they go crying to HR, that's fucking bitch move.
Yeah, especially when Talking Metal isn't even related to CBS.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bitch move.
Yeah. If it was an intercompany email, maybe I might have something to say about that. But this was, me and Mark do our little podcast thing on the side, and it's fun for us. And we got a email from a guy that works for the same company we work for, so I'm going to go complain.
Yeah, about something he did, again, outside of CBS.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. It's just like Anthony Cumia getting fired for twittering outside of the show that was not show related, but he gets fired.
Right. It was the same exact thing.
Same thing.
Yeah. But whatever. That's what it was. So, it was what it was. But to expect me to just quit? Get over it? Stop reminding people? No. That's not how I operate.
Look at this email. They were mean to us and stuff.
Yeah. But I am willing, as you'll read in the next paragraph, I am sort of willing to let this whole thing go because I'm bored with it, to be honest.
So as Chris states in his next paragraph here, that said, I'll take your olive branch and raise you one. Yeah. Here comes the Rev move.
Yep.
If you'd like a truce and an end to the decade of this, that can happen. I would propose that we have an on-air discussion and settlement of our radio wars on Saturday, September 20th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time.
Well, that obviously didn't happen.
To make it fair, that gives you guys time and the ability to fire up Talking Metal live, and we can both do it live in front of our respective fans. We'll leave the past in the past, not looking for justification on the air or anything either side has done or said. It will be more of a, it's time to end this. So we are conversations with some follow-up metal discussion or whatever. We can do it announced or unannounced, whatever works. The reason we could both go live is so there's no accusations of shit being cut out or whatever. If nothing else, I'm sure all of our fans on both sides would A, love it, and B, tell us that we're sellouts, tell us what sellouts we are. Bottom line, good for the business of radio. The door is open. I'm happy to talk about it. Let me know.
Right.
Any response?
Not a word.
Squeaked away like a puss in the night.
I put it out there. I was fair.
You did?
I was surprised. Believe me, I surprised myself that I was like, hey, whatever. You want to solve it? Let's solve it.
Yeah. So you can broadcast it. We can broadcast it. So here it is. No questions asked. Let's talk it out. Let's be done with it. It's over and nothing.
Yeah. And no, they don't want to.
Nothing.
Don't want to.
Well, he probably looks at it. Well, as long as these guys are talking about us, at least we're going to get some exposure because they got 500,000 downloads on the Spreaker.
Well, maybe. Maybe that's the motive. I don't know.
It could be.
I don't know. I got an email or a message though. Apparently they're trying to follow us. Let me see if I can find the message real quick. Let me see. Where are you at there, Patrick? I wish Facebook's messaging, you could search your messages for people. It'd make it so much easier. Here it is. I think this is it. Patrick DeLeese, our good friend Patrick DeLeese, linked me to a Spreaker thing. It's called Metal Raps 2, I guess.
Okay.
At the 16-minute mark, Striggle talks about how they have to remove music from their podcast if they want to be added to iHeartRadio. Copycat, LOL.
Nice.
Good luck with that, Mark.
Right.
Have fun, since we've been doing it legally and you've been doing it illegally for 10 fucking years.
Exactly.
Maybe now it doesn't look so dumb. Remember all their fucking, not them, but their fans' emails about the reason this show sucks is because there's no music in it.
Yeah.
You guys don't play any metal, and it's supposed to be a metal show.
Yeah. Well, we couldn't do it, and we didn't put one note of music in any of our podcasts.
Well, that's untrue. We have put.
But we didn't lead in and lead out with songs.
No. We put what we're legally allowed, which is 30. What is it? I think it's 33% of a song. Right. No more than 33% of a song. Sure. And we never did full songs ever, unless they were unsigned and we got permission from bands like 33 Love Child.
Sure.
Bitch. But, that's so rare. We don't do that. We just don't do it.
We've stayed legal from the time that we've done podcasts to doing live broadcasts and paying the royalty fees. We've done it legal.
Yeah, and you probably remember this when and this is years ago, 10, 12 years ago when we started doing podcasts. And one of the first things I did was cut out the music. And I remember you distinctly asking me why. And my answer was then what it is now. Because we ruffle enough feathers that someone will bitch.
Yeah, somebody's going to target us.
Yeah, and that's why we've never done it that way.
And I know there are radio stations out there, some internet stations that probably run without paying a royalty fee.
We know some.
And
let's be honest, we know some.
And if you look on the CMS radio site, not that it matters now since we're switched over, but I've always paid the royalties since we launched the CMS radio network back in 2007.
Yeah, so 8 years or 7, 8 years, we've always dealt with that.
Right.
And on the Spreaker, I cut it all out.
Exactly.
I cut as much as I can out of it.
Sure.
just because of this reason, because we don't want to have a problem and we don't want to be limited because of the licensed music.
Exactly.
So and they're the ones that filed an iTunes complaint on us for trademark infringement.
Yeah, well, they use some of our audio. Well, you're not a signed band. You're not a trademark or copywritten entity.
And even if you are, it's still fair use.
Exactly.
We're still allowed to comment on what you do because you make your shit public for public performance.
Right.
Aha.
Of course, they learned that lesson when we did that whole talking metal thing where we read the Fair Use Act.
Right.
So, screw
They
you.
learned a lot of lessons from us.
Yeah, they did.